There it is. Mic check, mic check. Y'all hear me good? Give me a sound check. Make sure everybody hears me good. We believe we got our internet dialed in better to another level. What's going on, fam? Good to see everybody back here for part two. False translation equals false salvation. Make no mistake about it. Can't get around that one. Can't get around it. Yeah, all right, Brandon got me in the mix. Let me get dialed in over here. There we go. A lot of great things. Hey, y'all won't believe what I've been doing. That's why I had to come on early. I'm so fired up. I am so fired up and ready to go. I had to get in here early. I just got off communicating with our logistics team. Straight here. Yahuwah got to be tight right here. I just got through getting dialed in with our logistics teams. We're about this close to taking pre-orders for the soft covers of the BARIYT HADASH, True Scriptures. We're about that close. So right now they're doing the coding in the system, in the software. What's going on, Rose, from the UK? They're doing the coding in the system right now. As I speak, it is being coded for international shipping rates and all that kind of good stuff where we can ship all the way around the world. About 3 or 4 people working on it over there. We've already got the platform that we're using, and it's going to be on. So if you guys are excited about it, you got to listen. If you're excited about it, you got to stay steady with that excitement. You got to be able to maintain your excitement. The one thing about strong people of Yahuwah, they got incredible endurance. They can remain excited and passionate because they're on fire. We released a video the other day. Said, have you been immersed into Yahuwah's fire? You see, when you got Yahuwah's fire in you, it just don't burn out. Can you imagine Yahuwah's fire ever burning out? It doesn't. So that passion is something to really be reckoned with. And so that's why you can talk to people. Know me for 17 years since I've been following Yahuwah. I don't lose fire. I don't lose passion, because if I did, I would have lost Yahuwah. And I'm not losing Yahuwah. I'm holding on to him with all I got. He is in me. So being that he's in me, all I got to do is I've got to persevere. I got to be consistent. I've got to master my mind. That's it. Greatest way to do that is what you do when you first wake up in the morning. When your brain is in that theta stage, when you're running between 4 to 8 hertz per second on the brain waves, that's when you really, really are setting the tone in your subconscious mind for how you're going to rock it that day. Most people don't teach this in the kingdom. We're going to teach in kingdom business the power of your subconscious mind. Because once we build up the strength of your subconscious mind, you will stay focused on Yahuwah and his ways. You ain't going to the left, to the right. All we got to do is get this to become unconscious competence to you. You got 4 phases of competence before I get into false translation equals false salvation. And this is why most people are jacked up. Now, when I go through these 4 levels of competence, you're going to see what's wrong with the world. You got unconscious incompetence, meaning you don't know a thing about a thing, nothing. You just don't know what you don't know. That's unconscious incompetence. Then you got conscious incompetence, where you admit that I don't know something. And see, that's where humility's at. Most people never come to humility. They stay in ignorance. Unconscious incompetence is pure ignorance. You just don't know. But then there comes a time where you admit, I didn't know this. Like many of you go, I didn't know the creator. I didn't know his name. They told me it was G-O-D. They told me it was L-O-R-D. They were even saying that J-E-S-U-S is G-O-D. Had me all jacked up. You don't know what you don't know. But then you admit it. Yahuwah says, I give I give my compassion and favor, sign named grace, to the humble, but I resist the proud. Matter of fact, he says, I hate the proud. Now, hold on. The next level is where most of you are learning to be that's been here for several months. Most of you have moved out of, I didn't know what I didn't know, to, man, I admit I didn't know it. Now you go to conscious competence, where you know it, but you got to think about it. Now you know it, but you got to think about it. Now you know Yahuwah's name. Now you know his ways. Now you know his commandments. Now you know about his festivals. Now you know about his new moon days. Now you know about what is really food. Now you know, but you got to think about it. Now what happens is when you practice the ways of Yahuwah, you just practice the ways of Yahuwah day in and day out. That's why David says, I meditate upon your word day and night. Thank you, Brother Daniel. Bakota's back in the building. Woo! Man. I meditate. What he's saying is, I am consciously, competently thinking about your word, Yahuwah. Now, I want y'all to find out what's happened here. Then, if you think about it and you meditate on it enough, and you become immersed into his name and into his ways, and that fires in you, now you move to unconscious competence. That means you do it without even thinking about it. It's second nature to you. It's just who you are. We're building, that's just who you are, people, in Yahuwah. You are just a real follower of Yahuwah, and you ain't even got to really think about it because you done practice it so much, it just comes out of you. Now you're moving, you're tapping into that spirit about, do not think about what to say. I'll give you what to say. But if you don't get immersed into him, you don't meditate upon him, you're not going to be able to get that fire from that spirit of Yahuwah. So when I teach, I'm always moving you towards unconscious competence to where it's just second nature to you. Where, listen, you clean up your mouth. You know, there's no GODs, there's no LORD. That's the furthest thing from my mouth. There's no slips of it either. You ain't slipping going, thank G. Thank, you ain't doing all that. It's done got burned out of you. Now, and guess what? You're not even coming close to dealing with any E's, any O's, any W's, any V's in Hebrew. You're not letting that come off your lips. You ain't saying Yehovah, Yahweh, Yahawashi. You ain't doing none of that. Because you done meditated and Yahuwah's done immersed you, and now he's teaching you from the inside out. And that's why if you got a false translation, what is that? There it is. Yeah. That's why if you got a false translation, you're going to have false salvation because you are going to learn, and this is what's happened to most of you listening to me. Because it happened to me, and that's why I had to become renewed in my mind. Heard that before? Yeah. Most of you listening to me, watching me now, here live and on the replay, you are unconscious competence in the paganism. You've been fed a word. You quote stuff. You quote scriptures that are the false translations. You quoting falsehood. The 144,000. Verse 8, Hazum, Revelation chapter 14, verse 5. It says there is no falsehood found in their mouth. If you're reading the King James, the New King James, and NIV, or all the derivatives, you got new translations, remove pagan names, kept pagan ways in it. So you ain't did nothing but move yourself to a higher level of falseness. You just got a higher level of false. So when we bring the true scriptures to the table, why is this critical? Why is this an emergency? I mean, we're in an emergency. We're in a state of emergency. Spiritually. The whole key is when you get these words down. So very soon, I'm going to get my stopwatch here soon within the next day or two. Just put a ticker on this world, on this world's ways. Put a ticker on all these translations that are perpetrating as the truth. That's why Yahushua said over and over and over, woe to you scribes. Woe to you scribes, you perishing. Woe to you. It's over. Come on, Dustin. Whoa. He gave us the warning. Thank you, Sister Queen. He gave us the warning. He said, you got to watch out. He says, beware of the leaven, the yeast of the perishing. A little bit will work its way through all of it. Now, a little bit has now suppressed Yahuwah's name to the point where hardly anybody on earth knows it. Blessed are you because you know it. But what your eyes are witnessing now with the true scriptures, what your ears are hearing through these teachings, blessed are your ears. There's many people that wanted to hear what you're hearing, but they died not hearing it. Many people, you got relatives, moms, dads, grandparents, great, wanted to hear what you're hearing, and they didn't hear it. And now you got an opportunity to make it known, to make it plain. I'm going into the true scriptures. I'm going to prove my point about how important the real word is to get people to the proper unconscious competence. Get rid of all these bad habits. Nicodemus, he came, which is Nicodemus, he came to Yahushua and said, what must I do? And how am I going to get eternal life? Yahushua said to him, unless you be born again, you will not enter the kingdom. Fam, unless you be born again, you're going to have to come out of this paganism of King James got you infiltrated. I'm watching people quote scripture after scripture, and I'm like, where is that coming from? Thank you, Brother Larry. Where is that coming from? Where? It's unbelievable. So we got to grab it. I love it, man. Like we got to grab it. It's just that simple. Bam! We got to grab the real deal. We got it in front of us, but we got to go get it. Now watch this. Matati Yahu, Matthew. Matati Yahu. The gift is Yahuwah. He gave us a gift. When he recorded what Yahusha said when he was here, Yahuwah was here as Yahusha. If you are not with me, Matati Yahu chapter 12, Matthew 12, 30. If you are not with me, then you are against me. If you do not gather the harvest together with me, think about this, fam. If you do not gather the harvest with me, then you are scattering the harvest. Means you're against him. We got one focus we got to be really tight on. One. Very, very important. One. We got one thing we got to be really, 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 really focused on. One, we got to be gathering for Yahuwah. Yahuwah wants us to gather. He says if you're not gathering, you're against him. As a matter of fact, you're a scatterer. You're perpetuating the scatter. He wants you to gather. Pay attention. Some of y'all asking me questions now. It'd be better if y'all let me get the lesson, then we'll handle a couple questions. Is that fair enough? Some of y'all asking questions in the chat. What I really want you to do is learn. Because you're not going to get taught this hardly, I don't know, anywhere else. I really want you just to stop, take a deep breath, say, hey man, I'm going to take about 30 minutes and I'm just going to learn. I'm going to learn, or if you don't want to learn, I'm going to take notes. And then go test this and see if it's true. I've been doing this for over 30 years. I've been following Yahuwah for 17. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Because I've done been tried on it. So I want to teach you something. Pay attention. Serious. Because if you keep on getting scattered with all these other thoughts, you got false translation that's infiltrated. It's your unconscious competence. That's why all these questions come out of y'all. Before you listen, you start asking all these questions because Satan he's got the yeast in you from King James and the church and Christianity and organized religion. It's like infiltrated you and you just do stuff unconsciously and you don't know no better. That's why I demonstrate as much patience as possible because I know I'm dealing with that yeast. And I'm going to show you love. I just want you, but I'm going to come at you and say, hey, will you do me a favor? Listen, you got to get together on this. You got to gather. Therefore, I say to you, it's unique that after he said this, he says, therefore, I say to you, every sin that people commit can be forgiven. Now, after he talks about scattering, gathering, after he talks about that, what made Yahusha come right after that and says, therefore I say to you, every sin that people commit can be forgiven. But if anyone insults the set apart spirit, they cannot be forgiven. See, people ask, what about our relatives this? What about them? The question is, did they insult the set apart spirit? Did they? Well, guess what you're going to have to say? I don't know. That's what all of us are going to say. My grandma and granddaddy's laying in the grave, laying in that tomb. I don't know. And guess what? I love them, but all I got. But there's nothing I can do for them in that grave now except me be the best I can be in Yahuwah. And then I go to Yahuwah and say, Yahuwah, can we create an opportunity for these people? Now, what if 144,000 of us went to Yahuwah like that? Humble, not arrogant. We can't walk up to Yahuwah arrogant on this. Because I'm telling you, in my spirit, what I believe the first thing he's going to say in regards to anybody, did you seek for me with all your heart? First, before you went after your career, before you went after your marriage and your relationship, did you seek for me first before you went after your education? Did you seek for me? Now, what if Yahuwah asked you that question today? Say time's up. You're in front of Yahuwah. What are you going to say? What happens when he asked my grandmother and granddaddy that? What are they going to say? I know for a fact they're going to have to say, no, sir. They better not front with Yahuwah. Everybody in front of y'all, I'm prepping y'all, got to approach him with ultimate humility. I messed up. I got fooled. I'm so sorry, but it's my fault that I got fooled. You got to approach him that way. You can't go point a finger nowhere with Yahuwah. Yahuwah will burn you up on the spot, throw you straight in the lake of fire. Soon as you make an excuse, he hates them. Go read the scriptures closely. The real scriptures. The real translation. See, the reason it's tough on some people, they got King James down in their DNA. They don't know what to do with it. You got to deal with this. How do you know when or if you insult the set apart spirit if you got a false translation? How do you know? You don't know. But now that I'm telling you, if you turn your head away and you stay hooked on a false translation, I promise you, you're going to end up insulting the set apart spirit. Because the set apart spirit sent us to you. We're talking on behalf of YAHUAH to tell you the truth. And if you turn from this truth, you just insulted the set apart spirit. Therefore, you can't be forgiven. It's that simple. When the truth approaches you, you got to be humble. Very. Just got to be humble. Even if you say something against the Son of Man out of ignorance, it can be forgiven. But whoever speaks against the set apart spirit cannot be forgiven. Not in this world or the world to come. See? Now he's dealing with the resurrections. Hey, you can't get it here. And even when I resurrect, if I do give people a chance, thus says Yahuwah, if you resisted the set apart spirit when it's plainly in front of your face, it's on. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button. Brother Eric says, got to get these likes up. Y'all got to pay attention. False translation, you don't have no salvation. If you don't know, I done got so convinced in my spirit. The criticalness of, I'm going, man, this country boy and this team over here, just average people, man. We come from just, most of us grew up poor. We didn't know nothing about how to put nothing together. So Yahuwah has taught us what to do for 17 years. That's irrefutable. Nobody's been able to tear it down. We used to go challenge people, 10,000 or more. Like, stop talking and put your money up. And quit hiding behind these little usernames. Get up on the real deal. Get up on a camera. Get up on, let's meet somewhere face to face. Sit down and look at this. But put some money up to where if you are just making excuses, it's got to cost you because that's where your attention's at. It's in your wallet. Now watch this. Either a tree is good and its fruit is good, or a tree is rotten and its fruit is rotten. A tree is known by its fruit. Just watch the chat. You can see all kind of fruit, good and bad, in the chat. You can see grapefruit in the chat, and you can see rotten fruit in the chat. And the truth snipers are always setting up, waiting to see if one of them rotten apples falls off the tree. Bam! Get that out of here. Can't mess up the whole batch. Now watch. Here you go. What makes Yahusha come with it with this one? You children of snakes. He done set all that up and then he goes, you children of snakes. How can someone who is evil speak good things? So you know he's pointing his face towards the Parashim now. You know he's dialing in on the Pharisees right now. He's dialing in on them. He's talking out in general, and you can just imagine him turn his head and go, you children of snakes. How can someone who is evil speak good things? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Out of the abundance of the heart, you put it in the chat. That's what happens. When somebody's heart is full of something, they can't help but say it. Come on, Brother Edward, I see you. He says, keep loving, keep obeying and loving Yahuwah. What you gonna do with this? Like, what is in your heart? If you got the false translation down in your heart, out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth's gonna speak you to death. And you gonna believe your lie that's in your heart because you got a false translation. That's how dangerous this is. This is a life or death teaching. You either going into eternal life on this teaching, or today's your crossroad, you're going into eternal death. Because if you don't accept what I'm teaching, you done resisted the set apart spirit. Because I, Baruch Abba Bashem Yahuwah, I come in the name of Yahuwah. Wait a minute. This is where it gets critical. Verse 36. Hold on. Verse 35. Before I get to 30. I can't wait to get to 36. 35. Good people bring good things from their good treasures. Say it one more time. Good people bring good things from their good treasures. Evil people bring out evil things from their evil treasures. You just watch the chat. Just watch the chat. Watch people you're talking to. Man, I believe I saw a messenger earlier. You got to pay attention to what you're doing out here in this life. I was sitting down in a little cafe. Sometimes I go down to a little cafe and have me a little break. I had one of the most delicious sandwiches ever. with some organic mango and passion fruit juice. Mango y maracuja. They call passion fruit maracuja in Latin, in Spanish. I'm sitting there sipping on it. Old lady comes up to the door. She yells in something through the door. She's carrying a bag of stuff. And it's rare you see this down here in Colombia. In most parts, it's rare you'll see this because people like really take care of each other. It's a trip. She comes up with this bag. She says something in the door. The waitress immediately runs in the back, gets a cold bottle of water, brings it out to the lady. I'm like, man. And I was like, and I done seen this 4 or 5 times. They see the people here, they see somebody like that, they go take it. Rarely do you see people begging down here. Rarely. It's a trip. It's like that person needs something. I'm sitting there looking at this lady, and something in my spirit said, that's a messenger. The lady was starting to pick her stuff up. I said, perdón, señora. Please excuse me, ma'am. ¿Tú quieres el pan? I said, you like to have some bread? She goes, oh, see. I'm looking in her eyes now and I'm going, this is something different. I go back over, I tell the waitress, I said, can you get her some pan? She goes, you want to get her like a couple rolls? Or you want to get her a loaf? I said, I want to get her a loaf. The best loaf you got. It's a beautiful bakery. They got this beautiful loaf of bread, big one, put it in the sack. I gave it to the lady, and then I gave her a Promote the Truth brochure. She took that brochure, she looked down. Now, y'all, there's only think she's a messenger. She took that brochure like this, and then She went from this kind of like meek and, kind of like this. She took the brochure and she looked up at me with straight eyes and then she walked off. I got chills. Hey, Jesse, you got the chills? Jesse said at the same time, I got chills right now, Jesse. When I looked at her, when she looked at that brochure and looked down, saw Yahuwah's name, she looked right back. She went from this kind of like, to, she just nodded, like looked at me like, mm-hmm. Because a lot of times we let them people pass by. And we don't know when that messenger's visiting you. We don't know. But see, that's in my heart. Don't nobody got to tell me. I ain't doing that to manipulate or get no favor. I'm doing that because out of the abundance, see, my fruit, I'm shaking off my tree and I keep seeing this good fruit because I wanted to do that. And now we move into good people bring good things out of their good treasures. So we all gonna want to do good things. Do you got your brochures though? Do you got your tools? See, if you don't do it unto Yahuwah, you just wasted time. We're done just doing it. We're done giving anybody any money. We're done. No more handouts unless it's for Yahuwah. That's it. We're on a mission to gather. He told us up here. If you don't gather with me, you are a scatterer. So if you ain't got your tools, you are not gathering. Get you some tools. If y'all go to, put it in the chat. Everybody should have brochures or something. I'm gonna put it in the chat. We got free brochures. All you gotta do is go get them printed on nice quality paper. And if you don't want to go in your pockets and do that, how you think Yahuwah gonna bless you? That's can be considered an offering. That's part of your tithe. Take some of your tithe money and do that. Take some of your offering money and get Yahuwah the best. Go to Staples, go to Home Depot, wherever you're at in your country and say, I want it on the best paper for Yahuwah. And don't run out. Like, be a great steward. Your job is to witness. So if you ain't got no tools, how you gonna work? And I done trained my son, my 9-year-old. I done trained him. Check my bag in my pouch. Make sure I got at least 10 in there all the time. He came and knocked on the door yesterday, said, Dad, you was at 3. I got you 7 more in there. You reloaded. High-fived me and walked off. He keeps me loaded. Teach your kids to keep you straight. But why? Because good people bring out good things from their good treasures. Now, if you are away from Yahuwah, you are an evil person. You will keep doing evil things. And most of y'all think that's murder and all of that. Well, guess who's the first person going in the lake of fire? The cowards. Hazum, Revelation 21:8 says, but as for the cowards, the unbelieving's number 2. The murderers is number 3. We don't get to the murderers before we got to deal with the cowards and the unbelieving. I'm teaching you the right word. I'm getting you the right translation so that you have true salvation. 36. Hold on. I say to you that for every idle or small word you speak, you will have to give an account for on Judgment Day. Y'all know what that means? There's no sarcasm. There's no sarcasm allowed in the kingdom of Yahuwah. There's no coarse joking. You don't tear down no brother or sister. Say I'm playing. You're going to have to give an account for that. It's all good. It's all positive. It's all solutions. People say, can I complain? Can you complain to Yahuwah? No. Can you go to Yahuwah with a situation, a challenge, a problem, looking for a solution? Yes. We're not saying you can't get to a solution. How do you go to it? Because for every idle or small word, you're going to have to give an account for it. You're going to have to stop doing low stuff. You're going to have to pick up your game. You got to stop when somebody says, what's up to you? You can no longer afford to say nothing much. For every idle or small word. Because your words are going to become your things. You can't be saying nothing much. Fair to middling. Another day, another dollar. Them is broke, pit of hell words. You can't make no jokes about your brother and sister, laughing at them to tear them down. And then say I was just joking. No, you wasn't. Because out of the abundance in your heart, your mouth was speaking. And you told me. That's why I don't care if people get them something to drink. Telling y'all come around me. Y'all want some drinks, do whatever. Who ain't against that? Get you some drinks. Have a good time. Go learn Yahuwah. Go look at Naha. Naha used to get his drink on, had a good time. Yahusha, when he was here, he said, keep the party going. They ran out of wine. He said, go on. Put some more wine in there. Let's go. You want to know why? I don't care when somebody gets something to drink. If they say something stupid, that was in their heart. I'm like, man, thank you. I know exactly who you are. Don't you blame it on you have something to drink. Don't you do it, because I'm telling you right now. I'm going to say you told me the exact truth. Robert Arenzi clapping and laughing. Come on, Brother William, with them 20 pounds. I'm telling you right now, get you something to drink. He said, you drink? Yeah, man. Get you something. I don't care. Don't get drunk in front of me. Because I know that you are undisciplined. You want your 2, 3, 4 drinks? Get your spirits up, having a good time. Fiesta party, hey. And if you say something stupid and you blame it on you was drinking, I'm going to tell you out of the abundance of your heart, that liquor, that alcohol made you speak the truth. You were scared to say it before. But I want you to say it. I want to know exactly who you are, and I want you to know exactly who I am. Say it. For every smaller idle word, you will have to give account for on Judgment Day. Hold on. Yahusha didn't stop there. He said in verse 37, by your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned. He closed that matter with your words. You can't tell me that words ain't critical. If the Savior, Yahuwah, who came down here as Yahusha said, let me tell you, he's speaking about Judgment Day. He goes, let me tell you what's going to go down on Judgment Day. I'm going to judge your words. Now, here's the issue. You're in a conundrum. What if this bucket of trash is your word? This King James, which almost the entire world's ran after. What if your whole foundational belief system is based upon this pagan word? This is filthy full of paganism to the max. It's trickery all throughout it. It's just trash. So your salvation is trash. Because you done got the wrong word. You done messed around and got the wrong translation. So here you are today. And there's something on the screen that says support now at tsinfo.org. You don't know why that's so critical? Because that's the real word. And we prove it over and over and over. We ain't heard none of this. Nothing. I've been translating, and then I come on here and we pick apart, I don't know how, it's just loads of verses to prove all of these translations, about 70 plus English translations. 70 some English that we know of. We couldn't find one of them that did not have contradictions in them, that had lethal, you are going into the lake of fire belief systems in them. Come on, Sister Donna. Isn't that a trip? By your words. I like what Ross said. Yahuwah is love. You know how much he loves you? He loves us to the max to give us choice. So Ross is right. He loves us to give us choice. That's the ultimate form of love, is choice. And if you think you can take him, he's love, and you can decide to go against him and think he's going to understand, you got the false translation. And he going to look at you and say, away from me, I never knew you. If you love me, you will obey me. Those who say they love me but does not guard the commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in them. This is all simple when we break it down. True? So I want everybody to go up to another level. Have you supported? Are you a part of it? Is your name going to be on the shirts? The multiple shirts. Some of y'all going to be on all 4 t-shirts in this project. There's 4 t-shirts. Go back November the 9th, 2023 up to December 31st, 2023. People became package qualified. Their name goes on a special shirt. You know what we're doing? We're teaching people how to run the race. I love how we've been able to utilize the campaigns and because it teaches you something to shoot for, just like you going for the mark. Robert Renzo said, my name's on that first shirt. Then, if whoever got there by June the 30th, their name went on the second shirt. But some people's name was already on the first shirt, and it came over on the second shirt. And then, by September the 30th, we got the Tanakh cut off. And if you're Opal package qualified or higher, well, your name is going on that shirt. We started a new campaign. And when that cutoff comes, those people don't get a special shirt because they were the first ones that believed and took action in the Tanakh translation. That's the Old Testament. It's on, y'all. On the 5th, by the way, on the 15th is when I go back, start translating again. Mid-month, I'm going back in. And then somebody's going to have their name on the next shirt. Now, if your name is on the shirt, before we get to September 30th, if you're already package qualified, Opal package or above, you'll be on the second shirt. Now, why are these shirts so important? Because, man, these are like life stuff. This stuff's being recorded. I believe the set apart messages is going, look who's running. Look who's doing it, yo. Look at them. Look who's promoting. Look who's getting the word out there. All right, fam. I'm in with this. Yesterday, we submitted. We have our distribution company locked down in for our music division, PTT Music. We submitted yesterday Guidance, the first song, is supposed to come out any day now. It said within 2 to 7 days, it should be on 150 platforms. Spotify, Apple Music, you name it. So we'll let y'all know when that comes out. But about every 10 days or so, we're going to release a new song. And now you don't want to know why? Because we are working. We're gathering from every angle possible. We're using video. We're using music. We're going to do everything. Lives. Email. Telegram. We hit people from 1,000 angles before it's over with. When that music come out, man, go stream it. Go share it. But at any moment, that music gonna drop. Guidance is the first song. The first song we let y'all hear is gonna drop. Amber Gray go in the studio for us too. She ain't playing. Yeah. And so when y'all see it, let me see if I'm gonna show y'all this, then I'm out of here. 1 second, let me show y'all something. It's fun, man. When you working the right way for Yahuwah, what? When you working for Yahuwah the right way, it is absolutely fun. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. When you're doing the thing for Yahuwah, it's on. Look, Chelsea says she loved them music samples. Y'all better get the real thing now. You better get the real thing now, Chelsea. I don't know what you're going to do with that, Chelsea. Let me see if I can put this up. So y'all know when you see it, what it look like. It's coming sideways. I'm going to see if it comes in here. I'm going to put it in here. Then I'm out. Let's see. Wait a minute. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, here I go. I'm gonna upload. I'm gonna see if it uploads right. Because sometimes it turns to the side when you turn it into a certain format. We'll see. Even if it comes out sideways, y'all, at least y'all get a glance. So when y'all see it hit all the, it's coming out on the side. Let me see if I can save it another way. Come on. Bear with me 1 second, then I'm gonna get out of here. Love y'all with all I got, by the way. I want to rotate it. Yeah. It ain't gonna come out right. All right, I'm just gonna put it up. That way y'all see it from the side. All right, y'all gonna see it. It came out from the side angle, but that way at least y'all know. You kind of get an idea. So the cover is gonna look like that, but it's gonna be turned up the right side. So guidance, PTT music. Y'all got it? When I went to save it saved it the wrong way. I ain't got time to do all that turning around. But y'all get ready for guidance. Is about to hit 150 platforms internationally. It's going in. Everybody got to get it. Everybody got to share it. Everybody got to blow it up. I mean, we got to blow that one up. Let the world know that Yahuwah is on the throne. He can see what's going on. All right, I love y'all. I'm out of here. I'll be back as soon as I can with some more updates. We're this close to going live on the pre-orders for the soft. The printing's happening. Like you say, we're probably about a week or so out from the shipments going out. For everybody that's going to get the first copies of the BARIYT HADASH hardcovers, it's going to be on, man. So I love y'all with all I got. I'll be back. Yahuwah's on.